Hey everybody, this is Katie, and this week I'm going to introduce you to the ARIS mobile platform. So I actually have a demo of one of the ARIS mobile-based games running on the screen right now, and if you want to just kind of watch that to understand a bit about what the mobile games look like on the ARIS platform while I describe just a bit of information, and then we'll get into an actual tutorial and I'll show you how to use the platform to design your own mobile-based scavenger hunts and games. So the ARIS platform has two main components then. First, it's a browser-based design interface that allows people to design and develop mobile-based location-specific games, scavenger hunts, digital tours, and interactive stories. And then once these projects are developed, they're made available through the ARIS mobile application. The ARIS project is open source, so the browser design interface and application are entirely free. And in addition, the interface and design options are really quite robust. Yet they also remain flexible enough to support the skills and needs of users that have a wide range of programming and design experiences. And this includes people like myself who really only have a basic working knowledge of HTML to students who are just starting to really think about and experience design, mobile design, and programming. So now in this video, I'm going to introduce you to some very basic capabilities of the ARIS online design platform that I hope might get you interested in making your own mobile-based scavenger hunt or game to incorporate in your library or instructional practices. So let's go ahead and get started. So it's really pretty simple. You just go to the ARIS homepage, which is where we're at right now. And we go ahead and click Make Games. And then from here, click on the Launch Editor Now link. And then sign in with your username and password. You will need to create an account to design anything, but it's pretty simple and painless. Okay, so then let's say that we've decided to put together a simple mobile-based scavenger hunt that new students at Syracuse University can play throughout their first semester that will help them get to know the campus and campus facilities better. I'm thinking something where the students gain points or collect some sort of digital item when they visit specific buildings and departments on campus with their mobile devices. So let's go ahead and click Create a New Game, and let's name it Welcome to Campus Syracuse, New Syracuse Students. And we'll put a brief game description, awesome scavenger hunt with cool reward. Clearly going to be motivational for our college students, right? So we'll click Create Game. Okay, great. So let's start designing. And I'm going to show you how to do three things with the interface that will help you create a very basic mobile scavenger hunt. But do remember throughout this tutorial that there are tons more capabilities, most of them easily discoverable and intuitive, that I'll simply skip for the sake of time. Okay, so you'll see that the map here is actually powered by Google Maps. So it's an interface that many of us are familiar with, and you interact with this map the same way you would with the Google Map interfaces. So let's go down here to the search box at the bottom and type in Syracuse University to go ahead and get the map centered on the location that we actually want to build our game from. Okay, and you'll see here's a little map then of Syracuse, and I'm going to go ahead and just keep double clicking on this brown area, which is the Syracuse campus, which allows us to see the buildings on campus a bit better. Okay, so for the first thing we need to do for our scavenger hunt then is make a clue. So to create the first clue, we're going to go down here to the bottom left-hand corner of the screen and click Add Object. And for this particular purpose, I'm going to choose to make a plaque, but you can see that there's other options available. You could create a character, an item, web page, a panoramic. So we're going to go ahead and click on plaque. Okay. And so now that we've clicked on plaque here, you notice that it shows up on the left sidebar. So once created, these objects are available for easy editing throughout the design phase. So to edit the content, we simply double click the name. And so since this is our first plaque and our first clue, let's name it something like Welcome Students Okay, and then, oops, and then we can add a little bit of text here so that this is where we would put our clue for our first scavenger hunt. So let's say the first place we want students to go is to the library. So let's say something like, please proceed to the place where librarians are. I would, of course, encourage you to be more creative in your development of clues, but for time's sake, we'll stick with this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click Save and Close, and we have officially created our first clue. Let's see. So now we have to place the clue, right? So let's say that we want to leave our first clue somewhere familiar to most students. So let's say the Shine Student Center. So to do this, it's really simple. You just go ahead and click on Welcome Students and drag it over. Sometimes it's picky. You can see that red X showing up about where you grab it. So see, we're dragging it over and we're dropping it on Shine, and now the plaque is there. So what this does now is putting this object here means that when students enter Shine with their mobile phones and they have the ARIS game interface open, they will be prompted with the information we put on this plaque. So that would be the first clue. Okay, so now we need to create some sort of reward or object that we want students to collect on their scavenger hunt. Now you could get creative here and hide QR codes in particular books throughout the stacks in the libraries on campus that students would then have to find to retrieve points or objects. But for today, we're just going to create a digital book that students will automatically collect when they visit and enter their campus libraries. So to do this, we go back to create or add object down here in the bottom left-hand corner. And this time we're going to choose item rather than plaque. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. So double click on the unnamed item, and we'll just call this library book. And then let's add a little bit of text that congratulates them. So congratulations, you found a book. Okay. And since books are going to be worth points in our game, let's go down here and actually limit the number of books that students can collect throughout their scavenger hunt, and we're going to limit it to 3. Okay, so you notice that there's also an option up here where you can remove an icon or choose new media. So here, this is where you can really get creative and make this as design intensive or simple as you want. So you could upload say a photo taken of a library book from one of the campus libraries. You could design your own in Photoshop or Adobe Design, Adobe Illustrator. Really, the possibilities are endless here, and this is just one example of the flexibility of this interface. So for right now, the box will be fine for what we're doing. Okay, so we'll go ahead and save and close, and then we can just drag and drop these items to campus libraries. So we'll drop one on Bird, we'll drop one on the Carnegie Library. So the cool thing is you can drop multiple library books, multiple libraries, or multiple items over so that students can pick them up at a variety of locations around campus. Okay, so we've got the basic components of a scavenger hunt. Now we just need to program our quest. So programming the quest sets up the parameters and the rules of the game that will determine when students have won or not won. So we'll go ahead up here to the left toolbar and click Quest Editor. And then it's really just kind of a simple field-based editor. So this is where you would, if you were designing this with hard coding, be doing a lot of coding work, but instead they've just created these fields for us. So we click plus here on the bottom right-hand corner, and you'll see that all these options come up. So we'll title the quest, Find the Libraries. You can add some text that will show up on the students' screens on their mobile phones when the task is still incomplete. So we could say, keep collecting those books. You could also enter in some media, so an image or a video even that you want to show up that lets students know that they have to keep looking. So a text when complete, congratulations, you found all the books. Similar, you can add media if you want. And then the requirements is really the important part. So the requirements to complete, and we'll click on to complete here. It's going to take us to another field, or another box, and we just click plus again here. And so let's say that to complete our game, students have to pick up at least 3 library books. So these digital library books, which means they have to visit 3 different campus libraries. So we just kind of follow the logic here in the fields. So the player has at least a quantity of an item. You'll notice if you click on any of these, they offer drop-down menus. So you can change what the requirements are. So in this case, we're going to say we want them to have at least 3 books. But if you had other sorts of objects on the map, you could require that students, greet certain characters, that they view certain web pages, that they created media at certain nodes on the map. So once again, this is really where you can see how robust the interface is in terms of design. But for now, we're going to keep it at player has at least a quantity of an item. Click objects, and it allows you to see library book. If we had more than 1 objects on our maps, this would be a drop down, so you could choose what the objects are. And the quantity, we'll just enter 3, save and close, and we have now, at this point, put together a very basic mobile-based scavenger hunt game. So all we have to do at this point is upload our game to the ARIS server, which we do over here in the bottom right-hand corner. And this will upload it so that then the ARIS team can look at it and approve it. So it's a similar vetting process to developing an app for a mobile device. So once approved, the game will be available to all users that have the ARIS mobile application, which, remember, is free, and who are located in Syracuse's campus. So I hope that this was informative, and I hope that this inspires some of you to incorporate this in your own library instructional practice. I think that mobile scavenger hunts can be really motivating for students, and I also think that the power of this platform is really that it's user-friendly enough to provide a really unique and exciting opportunity to introduce students to mobile-based game design, and even maybe get them interested in a little bit of programming. So if you do decide to take a look at the ARIS platform, there's really a wealth of information available online, and the ARIS development team is quite responsive to questions as well. I've also worked with the platform a bit myself and would be happy to field any questions you might have about using the platform. And if you're interested, there are some really great examples of how ARIS has been used in educational settings that are available on their website, the main page, under the projects and demo tabs. So I really hope that you guys do check this out a little bit more. And if you have any questions, please do email me or tweet at me, and I'd love to chat more about this, because I've actually used this with some students, and it's been a really fun experience for all of us involved. So that's it. Have a great week, everybody, and I look forward to reading your discussions on how to incorporate mobile mapping and mobile mapping design into your library and instructional practices. So have a great week, all. Bye.